It's 7:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A man has been forced to drive 3 people around Lake Macquarie for 3 hours after they got into his car. Inspector Murray Lundberg says the 26-year-old was stopped at Bolton Point at about 5 yesterday afternoon, with 2 men getting into his Toyota Starlet.
The driver was then intimidated into driving those men around the area before picking up a third man in Toronto. They forced the driver to take him to a number of locations during that 3-hour incident before he was told to drive them to Cardiff, where they assaulted him and stole his smartphone and cash.
All 3 are described as being of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander appearance. 1 had a tattoo on his neck. There's been an overnight fire at a Lake Macquarie school. Fire crews rushed to Rathmines Public School just after midnight. Following reports, one of the buildings was well alight. They managed to contain the blaze, but not before it caused extensive damage to the hall and canteen. Police are treating the fire as suspicious, and investigators will return to the scene this morning to determine the exact cause of the blaze. The state government is planning to turn Newcastle train station into a marketplace. It's one of the ideas being considered for the disused rail corridor, while Civic Station is set to be demolished, with a new park opening up the CBD to the harbour. Newcastle Liberal candidate Karen Howard believes the marketplace has the potential to be even more successful than Melbourne's Queen Victoria markets.
It would be great to showcase them in our heritage-listed Newcastle railway station. The next steps on from now are, of course, a detailed plan will be presented to the community for feedback around the middle of the year, and as always, Newcastle Council will be involved in the process.
It's been revealed the Office of State Revenue has begun court action to wind up the Newcastle Jets over unpaid debts. Action was taken last month with a directions hearing set down for February 25. However, the Herald reports Nathan Tinkler says the matter has been resolved. It's believed the debt is a 6-figure sum relating to payroll tax. The Hunter Business Chamber is welcoming the state government's decision to refuse an application to make Newcastle Show Day a public holiday. The Chamber says a March 6 public holiday would cost businesses up to $200,000 in wage costs. However, Lord Mayor Nuatali Nelms says it's a disappointing outcome for workers.
I've received notification from the Liberal state government that they won't allow Newcastle to have their show day public holiday. It's very disappointing for Novocastrians. Overwhelmingly, they wanted a public holiday for their show.
A free information session is being held this morning at Tyes Hill to update older residents and their carers and families on the options available to help seniors stay living in their own home for longer. The session goes for an hour from 10:30 at the Mercy Services facility in Union Street. Acting General Manager Laurie Hallinan says the government announced changes to home care packages in 2013 to provide a range of services to seniors and help take the pressure off the aged care sector.
It could be housework, could be some gardening, could be help with shopping or going to medical appointments. If the person's condition requires it, it could be nursing care. They might need some specialised equipment like a hospital bed. All of those things can be provided in the person's home so that they can stay living at home for as long as they want to.
Now with sport, Belinda Delasaris.
Incoming Newcastle Jets skipper Taylor Regan is pledging to play for fans in tonight's face-off against Brisbane. The 26-year-old is preparing to commence his arm of a captaincy rotation with Ben Kennedy and Jacob Pepper and says supporters deserve a competitive display. He replaces a dumped Q Yarleens among 5 senior players given the boot by owner Nathan Tinkler as the club's debt fallout continues. The War are also expected to go in with some extra motivation following the return of Thomas Brioche and Socceroos Matt McKay and Michael Teo. Maitland District Cricket top dogs Northern Suburbs will be looking to defend their Hunter Valley Cup crown this weekend. They'll take on Central Coast outfit Lisaroa Rimba in the 2014-15 final for a shot at double glory in Mulberry on Sunday. And the Knights lower grade trials are set to kick off this weekend with the National Youth and New South Wales Cup sides to face Canterbury at Belmore Sports Ground on Saturday afternoon. That's sport. I'm Belinda De Las Heras.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 8.